question number 6 from chapter 4. And the question is asked, should all professors be paid the same? So we're given two different graphs. The one on the left shows the supply of and demand for assistant professors in art history, and the graph on the right shows the supply of and demand for assistant professors in biology, and these are both at a hypothetical university. So we're supposed to use these graphs to answer some questions. The first questions that are asked are, what are the equilibrium wage and the equilibrium quantity for assistant professors in art history? So to answer this, we're going to use the graph on the left. And to find the equilibrium wage, we're going to go to the point of equilibrium where supply and demand intersect, and then we're going to simply go over to the left till we come to the vertical axis, and we can see that the equilibrium wage is going to be $60,000. To get the equilibrium quantity, again, come to the point of equilibrium where the supply and demand curve intersect, drop down, and we can see that the equilibrium quantity is going to be 24. Then we need to do the same thing for the assistant biology professors. So again, come to the point of equilibrium where supply and demand are equal, where they intersect. To get the equilibrium wage, we're going to come over to the left, and we can see that it's $90,000. To get the equilibrium quantity, again, come to the point of equilibrium, drop down, and we can see that it's 16. So now that we've answered the questions for equilibrium, we're asked to assume that the university makes a decision for two different scenarios. First of all, they set the wage across the board for all assistant professors at $60,000, and then if they do that, same situation, only they set the wage at $90,000. How's that going to affect quantity demanded, quantity supplied for these two types of professors? So the first scenario is that they set the wage universally at $60,000. So in the art history professors, we know that $60,000 was the equilibrium wage. So we're again analyzing the equilibrium point. So the quantity demanded would be 24. The quantity supplied is going to be equal to the quantity demanded at this point, so it will also be 24. And so is there a shortage or a surplus? The answer is there's going to be neither, because we're at equilibrium. Quantity demanded equals quantity supplied in this situation. Is that true for assistant biology professors? Well, no, it's not. If we go over here to where the wage is $60,000, to get the quantity demanded, we're going to come across until we intersect with the demand curve, and then drop down, and you can see the quantity demanded at that wage is going to be 24. The quantity supplied, we're going to start with this wage of $60,000, come across until we hit the supply curve, drop down, and we can see that at $60,000, 8 is the number that is supplied. So do we have a shortage or a surplus in this particular situation? Well, we definitely have a shortage. There are 24 demanded and only 8 supplied at a wage of $60,000. Okay, what if the university instead says, oh, we're going to set the wage at $90,000 across the board? What is that going to look like? Well, let's look at assistant biology professors first. That's their equilibrium wage. So again, we're at the equilibrium point for the biology professors. The quantity demanded is going to be 16. And the quantity supplied is also going to be equal to 16 at that point. Now let's analyze the art history professors. At $90,000, which is way up here, the quantity demanded is going to be equal to this point, which is 6. The quantity supplied, again, come to $90,000, come all the way across until you hit the supply curve, drop down, and we're going to see that the quantity supplied at $90,000 is going to be equal to 42. So do we have a shortage or a surplus? 6 are demanded, 42 are supplied, so we have a definite surplus of art history professors in this situation. And I forgot to answer the question for assistant biology professors. We had 16 demanded, 16 supplied, so we have neither a shortage or a surplus. In summary,